Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Got some cool stuff to show you today. This guy's new. Let's start here. This is the Bark River Knives Quartermaster EDC knife, and pretty cool design. I was kind of hesitant on this one at first when I started getting into Bark Rivers, because this point up here, this is another one of those knives that's like, Bark River tries to make it look like a clip point, and I kind of wish it was a clip point, but this is a drop point with a clip point shaped swedge. That's how I'm gonna say that. Because the point is just so high up. Now this one is a it's like a mini version of another knife, the Quartermaster, which was a from my understanding, a replica of a World War II, more of a survival knife that was given to the soldiers who were stationed in the Pacific, which makes sense. That other knife is much more of a chopper. It's, I mean, of course, a combat tool, but it was pretty much a small machete. In any case, this one is an EDC knife. For an EDC knife, I would like a pointier tip, because sometimes you gotta poke. I mean, you gotta slice and you gotta poke. Those are the two things a knife is for, and especially a fixed blade, you wanna be able to poke with it. So this is just, the tip's too high. And I just got this. I have no experience with it yet. I haven't used it, haven't even cut paper with it. Just got it out here to show you guys. This is my first look too, really. And I mean, very cool knife. The grind on it is super chunky. Like, it doesn't even start. You got like, the primary bevel is like a third of the, I mean, it's just, I don't know, you can't really get too thin behind the edge when it's ground like that. Anyway, I have seen some people send these back into Bark River, and one cool thing about owning a Bark River is it gives you access to the warranty and the benefits that comes with, and they'll regrind a knife for you if you want it to, if you want to bring it up to right there. Where I saw people had it done was right below the fuller here, which I do like. It's a nice look. This is a great looking knife. That's got to be said. It's just classy. You got your brass guard, brass half guard, your silver pommel, which I believe they use a type of aluminum because it's like sturdy enough and lightweight. And then you got the sack leather handle. This has been used some by the previous owner, but not much. This knife just, this feels good in hand. It's got good lines. You get a great grip on it. It's not that big for a fixed blade. That, you know, a knife that looks like this, you kind of expect to be bigger. It looks bigger than it is, but it's a beautiful, well-made knife. I'm sure it'll cut. I prefer them a little pointier, but hey, you know what? That's just me. Overall, I gotta say it's a winner based on my first impressions. And what else we got in the pocket today? This is, I did quite a bit of time on this one already, so I'll just go over a couple things that really stand out for me. I mean, the blade, the grind on the blade is super thin and slicey. You have a really nice pointy edge, really good for opening up packages. This is like, if I'm opening up mail, I wouldn't really rather have anything. That's the one I want right there. And got that beautiful grain, that beautiful dark saturated, I don't know if that's a brownish or a orangish red or a reddish orange, but it's just really nice. Dark wood. And besides the looks, it's just such a functional piece. It feels so good in hand. This is, I always feel good reaching for that. Mini Swiss. You know what? I want to mention something. You got your nail file here. Lately I've been just finding stuff with sharp corners that needed just a quick rounding off. I've been rounding off corners with this lately, just on like my kids' toys or furniture or whatever. And it can't be understated how many ways you could use this thing. It's a great tool. And of course, you got FireMaker. FireMaker is just, you know, one of the most important things, one of the most important inventions of humanity. It cannot be understated how, you know, reliable fire making has changed the course of history. So, forge the course of history. We got our Bark River's Quartermaster EDC. I don't know, I'm not gonna do ratings. I'll do ratings for today because it's easy. Today, Quartermaster EDC gets a 10 out of 10. Love this knife. Comes in this sheath. That's the one I got it in, at least. Has a few different ways, quite a few different ways to carry it, which is cool. A lot of different ways you could carry this. Some people do a neck knife type thing, and it has the friction to stay in there. Really cool knife. 10 out of 10 on this knife. And this knife, perfect action. Oh, so nice, satisfying every time. And plus, you got this, you know, this wonderful blade on there. This is a tool that is ready to go. This is, I mean, I'm sure tons of them are gonna end up being collector's pieces, but hopefully as many of these as possible get used as tools by people who need to use a knife, because this is clearly what it's made for. 10 out of 10, easy. 11 out of 10. 11 out of 10 on this one. 10 out of 10. I've said enough about it. It's 10 out of 10. It's an ace. Ace in the hole. 10 out of 10. Everything's a 10 out of 10 so far, but let's see what else we got. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit here. I just got a watch. I usually don't buy watches with my knife money. No way. But went to Vegas for my wife's birthday recently. She wanted to go to the outlets. It's her birthday. I'm not saying no to her. Not my cup of tea. Went to go buy the kid his first watch, a Swatch, and they had this for a really good price. And I'd actually been looking at this one before. It's a Tissot Powermatic 80 day date, and you got the day up here. I like that the day is written out. That's a nice touch, and the date down there. Now, listen, watch a watch review if you want to know the watchman's take. But for my take, this is does everything I want. Powermatic 80 has been a great movement. I have another watch with that. Actually, my only other automatic watch is another Tissot with the same movement in it, and keeps great time. It gives you a watch you can use for your everyday carry. I'm not gonna go too much into it. I got this strap for it. I forget what it's called, but my buddy recommended this type of strap, something with a P. Anyway, the brand that makes it is Eulit. I'm not sure, maybe you can see. And my wrists are kind of slender and they're kind of sweaty, so leather, not a good vibe for me. It came with a really good looking leather strap, but not gonna work out. So I'm glad I got this one. Eulit, just search Eulit if you're interested. It's like a woven nylon. And what's great about it, if you have slender wrists or sweaty wrists, is it's made from this nylon weave, and you can poke the, you know, you can make the hole wherever you want. So it fits perfectly every time. And that's another thing I have issue with in watches sometimes, is there's a hole here, there's a hole there, but your wrist is somewhere in between that, and there isn't a hole right there. So what's up with that? That's not, it's not perfect. It's not tailor-made. And this one doesn't have to be, because it just is, the design is functional. And since it's nylon, super breathable, you could even sort of like pull this mesh apart and see between it. It's a very breathable fabric, and it rinses off easily. It dries off quickly. If it gets sweaty, it doesn't hold on to it. It doesn't get like any sweat aromas going. So hey, you know what? I'm giving this watch and strap combo 10 out of 10. I might come back to this in the future if I do get more into watches, but you know, I just want something that looks nice, and this one looked nice. So for now, I I just got this for, you know, be an EDC, look a little bit classy while I'm at it. 10 out of 10. And here's what I want to show you for today. I wanted to feature this Great Eastern Cutlery 13 split back whittler. I tried most of the other 13 variations, and this is by far my favorite, and there's a few reasons why. Now, this one came in a few different handles. This one here is the muslin micarta. This is the one I used. I have a few others that have been more collection pieces, because I did try to get all the handles on this. I'm still short a couple. However, this is one of the harder to get ones right there. It's the special factory order for American Whittler. It's got the American etch on it. So this one's pretty much new. It's got a couple little spots on it, but those are coming right out with a little love. And oh, it's so well built. Such a nice little knife. Couple things I want to mention about it. It's got no half stop for the master sheep's foot blade, and you can pinch it open, and it's a little bit of a short and stubby blade, so it opens really quick, which I love for an everyday carry knife, especially for sheep's foot blade, which I find to excel at opening up packages. And when do you want to open up the package? Do you want to open it up later, or do you want to open it up right now? So, yeah, this opens quick. It's like a pocket scalpel, just ready to go when you need it. And I like that level of convenience for a sheep's foot blade. Now it's got a pretty slim profile. It's kind of long, but it's a thin knife, and it's kind of slender too here in this department for a knife that has 3 blades. And you got your other 2 knives here. These are both little pen blades, and they're great. Yeah, you can see this is one I've used. It's got a couple spots on it. I've carried this in my pocket. It's come with me on some missions. One thing about this pattern should be mentioned is you do get blade wraps sometimes on the secondary blades, and I believe this one is not an exception. Or maybe it is, or I might have even just stropped it out on these. Don't remember. However, I don't like pen blades. They're boring, and they're not good for whittling, and they're not as good as a clip for being pointy, and they're not as good as a sheep's foot for being slicey. So I know they're good, they're useful, they have their uses, and they can come in clutch. And they can, listen, I'm just biased. I hate spears and pens. I don't hate them. I just feel like whenever I see them, I feel like I wish they were something else. But anyway, so you got those. They're just backup blades anyways. On a knife like this, I wouldn't care if they took both those blades away and they had just this frame with this blade on it on a single spring, and it was nice and slim. I would not even care that the blade is short, because the shortness makes a quicker open, which I find to be really useful on a sheep's foot blade if I'm doing that kind of work. And you know, I think when I was carrying this most, I was working in it was bags and boxes, a lot of bags and boxes, and this one was just clutch because it opened up quick, and I want that. And especially when, you know, you really could be carrying so many other kinds of knives. If you're going to carry a traditional, like, find one that's got that the utility for what you need. And one of the cool things about traditionals, there's a billion different kinds, a billion different shapes and sizes. Most of them have intended purposes historically, and that's cool. Now, this is not really, from my understanding, I don't think this has a knife like this has ever been made. I think there've definitely been historical split back whittlers on a Congress shaped frame, but not with a sheep's foot and 2 pen blades. I think this is a pretty unique design here. Anyway, I highly recommend these. They don't come up super often, but when they do, you could usually find deals on them. And I'd recommend it, especially if you get one of these Blackwood ones. It's just super classy. It feels nice. The shield's really cool, but I don't know. I think this one kind of takes the cake for me. There's something about the muslin that just like has a good look for me. Although you also got the mirror polished blades here, and I like mirror polish. These ones are satin, which is also nice. They're both great. You can't go wrong. Get them both because they're both 10 out of 10s. And on that note, I'm out. Have a good one, y'all.